The world will hold Russia accountable. Unprovoked and unjustified attack, flagrant breach of international law. We will not let President Putin tear down Europe's security architecture in the name of humanity. Bring your troops back to Russia. Russia's legitimate security concerns.
That's worse, the world's leaders' reaction on Russia's attack. But does Russia's invasion of Ukraine really violated the international law? Or it was a Russian legitimate security concerns?
We will answer this question with complete impartiality and from legal point of view. Legally speaking. First, let's try to understand how international law actually works. Well, international law does not exist through legislation. It differs from the laws of states in terms of existence. There is three sources for international law: treaties, custom, and general principles of law. In the international sphere, necessity and mutual consent create law. International law contains a small amount of rules of what one might call necessary. The main instrumentality by which international law is created is the international treaty. An international treaty creates international law only for those nations which are a party to it. The main bulk of rules of international law owe their existence to the mutual consent. Each nation is bound only by those rules to which it has consented. The UN Charter is an international treaty that established the UN, so the UN Charter is an instrument of international law, and the UN member states are bound by it. Article 2(4) of the UN Charter provides, "All members of the UN shall refrain in their international relations from the threat or use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state, or in any other manner inconsistent with the purposes of the United Nations." Article 2 Paragraph 3 of the Charter requires all member states to settle their international disputes by peaceful means, in such a manner that international peace and security, and justice, are not endangered. Putin claimed that Russian military intervention in Ukraine was necessary in order to defend the Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republic, which Russia recognized as independent states. Law and foreign policy experts have criticized this argument because Ukraine has not threatened or attacked another nation. Well, even if Ukraine had been planning an attack against Donetsk and Luhansk, Russia could not invoke Article 51 provision because these regions are not recognized as separate states under international law. Well, sunshine, don't forget to support me by subscribing to the channel. Anyway, well, now it is usually agreed that a state must satisfy three conditions in order to exist. First, territory. Second, population. And third condition is to have a government capable of maintaining effective control over its territory. So here we could note that the third condition might at least not been fulfilled yet for Donetsk and Luhansk. I see you Putin's lover, I'm watching you. Anyway, jurists still may differ on this. Even if we assume for the sake of argument that Russia had the right to invade Ukraine. But don't know how to tell you that you Putinians, but, yeah, Russia still violate what is known as international humanitarian law. International humanitarian law, or the rules of war, are the set of rules that set out what can and cannot be done during an armed conflict. Russia has violated too, unfortunately, by targeting civilians, buildings, hospitals, and schools. Well, in the end it's important to know that I am not neither on Russian or Ukrainian side. The only thing that matter to me is the law. After all, the Ukraine allies today who accuse Russia of violating the international law are the same who supported and still supports Israel every day since 1948, which has violated and still violating the same law. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section.